My dear friends, today in this video I am going to discuss about fundamental rights, and it is one of the most important topic when we talk about political science. Okay, so before starting the video I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Rajdeep. I read in BS 6th semester, and I welcome to everyone on my YouTube channel Political Study, and it's my request to everyone that please subscribe my channel so that relevant videos relating to political science will be available to all of you. So without wasting much more time, let's come to the point. My dear friends, our topic is fundamental rights, right? So first of all, what is the meaning of fundamental? Fundamental means what? Fundamental means foundation, or you can say the basic rights. The basic rights of every citizen. See, the Constitution of India guarantees certain social and political rights to every citizen, and these rights are called fundamental. These rights are called what? Fundamental, because these rights are very important, or it is a very necessary for all-round development of the individual. And without these rights and without these 6 rights, the individual cannot develop his or her personality. So fundamental rights is very important for all-round development of an individual. Clear? And the fundamental rights cannot be arbitrarily modified by the legislatures, because the Supreme Court is there to protect the fundamental rights of the citizen. So the Supreme Court is the protector of fundamental rights. So you have to remember this, because one more question may come, that who is the protector of fundamental rights. So simply you answer it, the Supreme Court is the protector of fundamental rights. Clear? Now another important question, and the question is that can fundamental rights be amended? So the answer is yes, fundamental rights can be amended. In the Keshavinanda Bharati case 1973, the Supreme Court held that the fundamental rights can be amended, but the basic structure of the Constitution cannot be amended, and the fundamental rights can be amended. Understand? Now, what is the meaning of fundamental rights? Fundamental rights means basic rights of every citizen, and these rights are very essential to safeguard the interest of the people. So you simply remember that fundamental rights means basic rights of every citizen. So I hope that the meaning of fundamental rights is clear to all of you. Now, how many fundamental rights are there? There are 6 fundamental rights, and every one of us, we know that how many fundamental rights are there, right? So Part 3, Article 12 to 35 deals with what? Part 3, Article 12 to Article 35 deals with fundamental rights. Okay, please remember this. Part 3, Article 12 to Article 35 deals with fundamental rights, and there are 6 fundamental rights: right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and rights to constitutional remedies. And right to constitutional remedies is very much important. Okay, so now I am going to discuss these 6 fundamental rights one by one. So it's my request to everyone that please listen it very carefully. So my dear friends, our first fundamental right is right to equality, and right to equality comes under Article 14 to Article 18 of our Indian Constitution. So you have to remember this. Article 14 to Article 18 deals with what? Deals with right to equality. So right to equality means what? Right to equality means everyone is equal before the law, and they also enjoy equal protection of law. It means that the government officials and the private citizens are subject to the ordinary law and to the ordinary code. Again, the government cannot make any kind of discrimination between the citizens on the ground of creed, color, caste, gender, and place of birth, etc. Okay, so right to equality means what? Right to equality means everyone is equal before the law and enjoy equal protection of law. And Article 14 to Article 18 deals with what? Deals with right to equality. So our second fundamental right is right to freedom. So Article 19 to Article 22 deals with what? Deals with right to freedom. So the citizens of India have the rights like right to freedom of speech and expression, right to from association and unions, right to move throughout the country, and right to reside or settle down in any part of India. So these are the rights, these are the freedoms of these citizens, which comes under right to freedom. But these freedoms are subject to certain limitations because the state can impose reasonable restrictions on the ground of security, integrity and sovereignty of India. Okay, so right to freedom, you have to remember this. Right to freedom comes under Article 19 to Article 22. So our third fundamental rights is right against exploitation. See, Article 23 to Article 24 are concerned with right against exploitation. See, the Constitution of India prohibits human trafficking and child labor. The Constitution also lays down that no child below the age of 14 years shall be employed in a factory or mine. Okay, so Article 23 deals with what? Right against exploitation. Fourth fundamental rights is right to freedom of religion, which comes under Article 25 to 28. See, the Constitution of India grants to every person or to every citizen to practice or propagate his own religion. Thus, India becomes a secular country, and it is also a very important right to freedom is freedom of religion is also a very important fundamental rights, which comes under Article 25 to Article 28. Okay, and you remember this Article 25 to 28. So now our fifth fundamental rights is cultural and educational right. So you remember this cultural and educational rights comes under Article 29 to Article 30. So our sixth fundamental rights is right to constitutional remedies, which comes under Article 32. And this is very much important fundamental rights because Dr. B.R. Ambedkar describe it as the heart and soul of our Indian Constitution. Okay, so right to constitutional remedies means what? See, every person has the right to move to the High Court or to the Supreme Court to protect his rights if his fundamental rights is violated by the government or by any private citizens. And the Supreme Court or the High Court may issue writs in the nature of habeas corpus mandamus prohibition. Okay, so right to constitutional remedies comes under Article 32, and you remember this, that it comes under Article 32, and it is described as heart and soul of our Indian Constitution by whom? By Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So what is fundamental rights? I think it is clear to all of you, including the 6 fundamental rights. And one more important thing, the original constitution included the right to property as fundamental rights, but it was removed from the fundamental rights by the 44th Amendment Act. By the 44th Amendment Act 1978. The original constitution incorporated a right to property as a fundamental right, but it was removed from the list of fundamental rights by the 44th Amendment Act 1978. And at present, right to property is a legal rights, or it is a constitutional rights, which comes under Article 300A. Right to property is a constitutional rights which comes under Article 300A. Okay. So I hope that the meaning of fundamental rights is clear to all of you. And if you like my today's video, please click on the like icon. And if you have any doubt regarding this topic, comment me in my comment section, and share this video among your friends. And please follow me on my Instagram ID. For today, I have finished here.